Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive.
Game over!
Take it light. Okay.
Now you're more fluent.
Mackinac, he's got three!
Up, Bears. So this is really good right here. Absolutely. Let's do it.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of We Got Next. I'm Rick Hampton with my great friend Paul Mokeski from the Milwaukee Bucks Center, coming to you on a Monday evening. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope all your teams won. Mo, it's good to see you, my brother. Always a pleasure talking hoops and sports in general with you, man.
That's why I love Mondays, Ricky. And, looking forward to any comments or questions you guys have out there. Just put them on our comment. And also want to remind you to send us super thanks and show us your support, or super chat, which gets you in front and center in picking the content being discussed. So you'll give us some ideas of what we're going to discuss next week. So it's all on Sports Fluent YouTube. So go there, click the like button, click the subscribe button. Never said that before. And, support the show. We love talking sports. We love talking about what you people want to talk about. So the more input we have, the better our shows are. Not to say that, Ricky's not brilliant, but, we need help.
Yeah. Hey, that is so well said, especially the part about me not being brilliant.
No, I did not say that. I said you.
I think you hit that right on the head, man.
No, I didn't.
And my wife, Kathy, would certainly concur.
Well, we know wives are like that, but hey.
Hey, how was your weekend, man?
It was good. Watching college football all day long. You can pretty much get, any team, any game you want on a zillion channels. And then it's interesting watching NFL on Sunday. A lot less games available to watch on the NFL than college. College, at least out here in the West, 9 a.m. till midnight.
Yeah,
but in the NFL, you get one game early and then two or that's interesting to me.
Yeah. And I think they had a game on Peacock last week. I think the Packers and the Eagles played on Peacock last week when they were over in Brazil. Oh, I wonder what they were doing over in Brazil.
Well, I'm trying to spread the word. That's how the NBA got. Yeah, it's about money, man. It's about how the NBA, I did a clinic for the NBA in China 15 or 20 years ago.
Wow.
So, there's clinics all over the world by the NBA. There's the BAL league in Africa that's sponsored by the NBA. The NBA is talking about getting into Eurobasket now. So, it's about, Ricky, it's the world today. You need clicks and views and likes, and then you can sell stuff, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure. That's for sure. So, Mo, the NBA was planning that international seed 15 years ago.
More than that. I mean, I played in the first McDonald's International tournament in Milwaukee in probably 86 or 87. And we had a team from Russia come and a team from Italy, Banca di Roma. And Bob McAdoo played on that team, and we had it in Milwaukee. And we beat both teams pretty handily. But that was the first one like that. And then the next year, I think the Celtics went over to Italy and played. So it's been going on for years. It's just really capitalizing now because of the media. I mean, when we played that McDonald's Classic 30, 40 years ago, I don't even know anymore. It was probably watched on one channel, and then, you can watch it on replay overseas. Now, shoot, you can watch live events. Look at the Olympics were in Paris. It was all live, and then you can watch replays. So the media, I mean, you can watch stuff from all over the world anytime at day or night now, and not let alone on the internet. You can pull up stuff. If you want to watch the Eurobasket tournament in Greece, you can find it.
Yeah,
If
and you do some international play-by-play even now, don't you know?
Yeah, I do FIBA International South America, and those games we do the color and play by play, from our houses, but live and going. So I have this set up, and then I have a big screen set up where I'm watching the game live. And I'm commenting on it. It's amazing.
Wow. What up, Wood Age 84? Good to hear from you. Please send us your questions and comments. As Mo said, also go to Sports Fluent at YouTube and check us out. Send us some comments. Send us a super thanks. That helps grow the show. We definitely want to grow the audience out there because I'm telling you, man, it's a treat to be able to spend an hour with this gentleman to my right on my computer, Paul Mokeski, one of the great basketball minds in America. Really, I mean, the guy's been there, done that at every single level. And Mo, you were talking about we were talking about international basketball. I still remember when Tony Kukoc was coming over here, and the big story about this one guy coming from Europe to play in the NBA. And Tony was a good player. He was a good fit for what the Bulls were doing at that time. Was he 6'10", 6'11"?
6'9", 6'10", wing. Yeah, but before that, Rooney Marciulionis and guys like that came over. Sabonis at the end of his career. At the very beginning when I was playing, there was only a handful of non-Americans playing in the NBA. Now, half the league is non-American. Half the league is non-American. And, and not just 10th, 11th, 12th guys, starters, all-stars, MVPs. So the game has changed nationally just over the years. And, it's a global game.
Yeah, it really is.
And there's a reason for that, Ricky, because you and I love the game. I've loved it since I was a little kid because it's fast paced. There's excitement, energy, ups and downs. There's no, besides timeouts or video reviews, the action is continuous, right? Football, you have a huddle and you have breaks in between plays. Baseball, and hockey is much like basketball, not many breaks, but damn, there's 2 half times. You got to wait through.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Oh, I know, baseball, I enjoy playoff baseball because those games really mean something. And, you get a 3-2 count, the 7th inning, man on first. That's tense stuff, but it comes so far in between. And you got to wait so long for it.
Yeah, I mean, outfielders wait for the ball to get hit to them, and the people that are in the action, pitchers, catchers, first baseman. There you go.
Yeah, hey, Mom, and a great game is a no hitter.
No, great game is 15-13, in my opinion.
Krause gave Kukoc a pretty big contract, which made Scottie Pippen mad. Yeah. Scottie complained about his contract throughout his career.
Yeah, and I think he's the one that signed it, right?
Yeah.
So he must have been happy at the time he signed it. But the biggest culprit of that when I played was Karl Malone. Karl Malone was mad at his contract every second year and wanted to renegotiate. He's going to sign a 5-year contract and then renegotiate because he's mad about it. My thought process was, when you sign that contract, you agree to that contract to be happy with it, or don't sign it, or sign a shorter contract. And we said this before on the show. Patrick Ewing had the best contract ever. He negotiated with his agent, with the Knicks, that no matter what, he would be a top 5 player paid in the league as long as he played.
Wow. Yeah, that's well done, Patrick, to negotiate that one. Uh, it was a $2 million a year contract. Normal people wish they could make that. Well, that's true, but I mean, I never begrudged you guys for earning your money more because there's not many 7-footers that were skilled as that could do the things you could do on the basketball court, or Tony Kukoc, or any of these guys. That's a rare commodity. Because think about, we were just talking about the international game. So there are literally thousands and thousands of people playing basketball in this world, probably millions at a high level, but only what is it in the NBA today? Maybe 1,500 guys, something like that,
No, 450.
are able to play in the NBA.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, brother, you better be bringing your game.
Yeah, I mean, so, 15 times 30 is 450 players on active rosters in the NBA in the world. Now, there's
world.
but there's guys making $2 million a year in China. There's making $3 million a year in Greece. So, there's money in different places, but it's it's not easily done. But just think. You can't think back. I mean, come on. I mean, if I was playing in today's game and I was a 7th or 8th guy on the team, a 7-footer who could shoot threes, I'd be making $10 million a year. That's it, easy. So, but I mean, how much do you think what his contract would be in today's world? Or Scottie Pippen's contract would be, I don't know, $40 million a year, $50 million a year. I mean, I looked at the escalation of the agreement, NBA agreement with the media, and it's projected in the next 10 years there will be $100 million a year player in the next 10 years.
Wow. Yeah.
Because the salary cap goes up according to the income of the league. And, teams are required to pay minimal. I think, can't remember what minimum is, maybe $100 million a year for the team or something, and max is 138, but you go up to 150. So that's only going to go up when income keeps going up. And, I mean, Steph Curry in 2 or 3 years is going to be making $65 million a year.
That is nuts. Hey, Mo, Adam Silver said they're going to look at expansion this year. He said we're not quite there yet, but there are already a couple of cities being mentioned, going back to Seattle and, surprise, surprise, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, I mean, he's not ready to pull the trigger and say that yet, but I think they're really closer, and I think this fall he's going to make an announcement, which I think will be announcing these teams. And the good thing about Seattle and Las Vegas here is there's arenas now teams can play in, NBA level arenas. They're building new arenas. I mean, they're building 2 new arenas here in Las Vegas, 20,000 seat arenas that are going to be brand new in the next 3 or 4 years. But you could bring an NBA team here and play at T-Mobile where the Golden Knights play. It's an NBA. I've been there. NBA level right now. You can play there right now. And they can play in there for 2 years before their arena's built. So it's kind of a really good, perfect scenario.
Hey, where did the Suns, the Supersonics play in the Kingdom? They didn't play in the Kingdom, did they?
They play in the Kingdom, but then they moved to Key Arena. But I played in the Kingdom. I played in the Silver Dome, in the Kingdom, and the Alamo Dome.
Wow, the Spurs used to play. Wow, yeah, that's right. That's right.
I played in all the domes.
Yeah, so we got. Mo, I want to get back. We'll talk some more hoops. We'll talk whatever our viewers want to talk about. If they got any questions or comments about some situations going on in the world of sports, but there was some news out of the NFL today that I wanted to get your perspective on as out of the NFL. I want to get your perspective on as a professional athlete down in Carolina. Bryce Young, the number one pick in 2023, was benched after 2 games by Coach Dave Cannell. The Panthers are 0-2. They've only scored 13 points. Over the weekend, Mo, Bryce completed 26 passes for 84 yards, and he was under the least amount of pressure that any quarterback in the NFL. They was not getting a big passer. He's just dinging and dunking them off. But man, they gave up 2 draft picks for this guy, a player, and now 2 games into his second year, they're pulling the plug. Is there any chance they could go back to him?
Well, first of all, there's no pass on rush on him because it doesn't have to be. He can't pass. So you don't have to rush him. Just wait for him to throw the ball away, okay? That's my defensive strategy of football for playing against him. But, they took a chance. A very skilled player in college, but he's small. He's like 5'10". He's 5'10", not super mobile, like some of the other smaller quarterbacks. And, he's 2-16 in 2 years as a starter. Now, we know football's a team sport. You have to have an offensive line, defensive line, running backs, receivers, linebackers. You got to have all this stuff, kickers, so it's not all his fault, but he just wasn't fitting in. And correct me if I'm wrong, they changed coaches this year, right?
Right.
Yeah, so they changed coaches, so he's not his guy. He didn't draft him, so he has less confidence in him than if he would have drafted him, and less, responsibility or accountability to him. But, guess what, people? Professional sports is brutal. Make a lot of money if you can, but it's brutal too. They could trade you in a second. They can cut you in a second. You get hurt anytime. So that's the way it is. And you know what? Don't feel sorry for the dude. He got a $24 million signing bonus last year. That ain't too bad. I wouldn't mind doing one of those. And here's the money part of this, right? So they're not happy with him as a quarterback. 2 for 16, throwing balls away. You paid him $24 million already, and they paid him last year. That's gone. You already paid him. His whole guaranteed contract is $37 million. So you but in football terms, you only owe him $13 million. So, cut your losses. It's not the end of the world. And now it could cost you a couple draft picks, but you get those back. So, but to answer your question, I think it's very hard for them to bring him back in any form because, he was drafted to be their starter. He was their starter. He failed at being a starter, and it's like getting fired, right? So if you work in a factory, and you're the general manager of the factory or the warehouse, and you get fired, can they bring you back in a couple months and say, "Hey, it's okay, you weren't so bad"? No, it doesn't work that way, and it's the same in sports. That the best thing for him and the team is for them to move on. Trade him, get another first round. I don't know if you get it anymore, get a couple seconds, whatever. And I don't know football that well. He needs to go in a system that can protect him more. Maybe he can run, I don't know, but he needs a fit for him and the organization he's going to. Ricky, it's not the first time we've seen high draft pick quarterback fail. I mean, yeah, it happens all the time. I mean,
and he played at Alabama where they're going to win 50-something to whatever. I mean, against most teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty bad situation. But what I also want to dig in on, Canal said, I got to put the guy out here that can best help this team win. It seems to me, he says he owes this to the men in the locker room to put the best guy out there.
It's about winning, right? You play the game to win, right? That's, and, if the guy can't get it done, then he can't get it done, and you go to the next guy. I can't remember the dude's name, but he's been around. He's been on 3 different teams, the quarterback they're going to bring in. So give him a
Andy
shot.
Dalton, veteran guy.
He's been around.
He's a
Yeah.
better quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, so give him a chance. But like you said, this kid is not going to be able to come back in that situation. I don't think. So he needs to go. Change of scenery for both people will help. And move on. Maybe he will become a good quarterback in the NFL. Maybe he will not. But he got some money, didn't he? So along with Alabama too, because you have so many good players, you're better than most teams you play. Guess what? You look good,
Yeah.
right? You look good. You got
Yeah.
receivers that are phenomenal, first round picks. So you look good, and quarterback in the NFL is no joke. And I watched the HBO special on Chicago with Caleb.
Williams.
Caleb Williams, and he pulled out a great win and the first week, but he got caught the second week because he was trying to make passes he can't make in the NFL.
Yeah.
You can make them in college, you can't make them in the NFL. Players are bigger, stronger, quicker, more athletic, and he's going to have to learn that, and he will. But it takes time. But at this other kid at 2-16, where the team is kind of giving up on you. If I'm his agent, I'm on the phone right now talking to other teams that are interested that I think he will fit in with. And then, get him moved for whatever you can get for him and maybe give him another chance. I'm telling you, the Oakland Raiders here have a great defense and their quarterback is below average. So, I don't know if he'll fit there.
Mo, when you came to the NBA, what was the first thing you noticed about the step up from college to NBA? And when you coached and worked in an NBA, what was it the guys you worked with, more present day guys, younger guys, what did they say was the biggest step up? And it was the same thing?
It's always the same thing. It's the same from high school to college. It's the same from college to pro. It's athleticism, speed, strength, knowledge, experience. That's it. I mean, in college, you play against 1 7-footer, maybe a couple, every once in whatever. In the NBA, you're playing against, there's probably 4 7-footers on the floor, both teams. I mean, and then there's wings that are 6'8" with 7'1" arm spans that jump out of the gym, and shots you got off in college, they're blocking. And I used to tell players when I work with them, especially on their jump shot. So in high school, you have this much time to get off your shot. In college, you have this much time to get off your shot. In the NBA, you have this much time to get off your shot. That's the difference. So this much, now you got to shoot it quicker. Now you got to shoot it immediately. And that's part of the difference. Rotations are faster. Closeouts are faster. Blockouts are stronger. Athletes are better. They jump as high as you do. It's just a big adjustment. And, like just talk that jump shot scenario. So if I'm in high school, I can take my jump shot, I can go up, and in college, I got to go, okay, I got to get up and I got to release it. Good. And pro, I got to get up, shoot it. That's the difference. And until you realize that, your shot's going to get blocked, right?
Yeah. Hey, what it says, the old St. Louis Hawks. We regret letting the Hawks go. What age? Y'all also let the doggone Cardinals go, man. What's up with that? After winning the Super Bowl.
Did you let the Rams go?
They were were they the St. Louis Rams back then?
For a
But
while,
it used to be the St. Louis Cardinals football team.
Yeah, but they won the Super Bowl as the St. Louis Rams, didn't they?
And then they were that's right. St. Louis Rams. Let them go. I tell you, one team that won't go is the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That might be the best baseball city in the country.
But it's hard to let if teams leave for reasons, it's hard to get them back. Like Kansas City used to have the Kings.
Right.
They never really supported the Kings. I went to after my first year in Houston, I went back to Kansas City, and it was the NBA Finals. The Kings were playing. Can't say the Kings were playing. Maybe Boston or something. I can't remember. No, they were playing the Houston Rockets in the semifinals, and there was 8,000 people in the stands. So
Yeah.
if you lose support, that's different than like Seattle supported their team. It was just moved
Yeah, 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 for sure.
because of the arena, I guess.
Jets probably could take on Young due to Rodgers being in his 40s. Yeah, maybe. Well, let me tell you, man, go to New York and play like that.
Oh yeah, or Philly.
That's not going to be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't researched him that much, but the one thing I know, he's small. He's 5'10". That's tough. That's tough to be that 5'10" in the NFL anymore. Alabama, you could get away with it, but in the NFL, you know, there's only a few Russells out there, right? That are
Yeah,
small quarterbacks anymore.
yeah, Bob Pettit.
Wow, how old are you, man?
Let's see. Yeah, you got the Hawks and the Cardinals and the Blues now back in Boston. But that, hey, I, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Bryce Young. What were your thoughts on the NFL weekend, Mo? Your Chiefs pulled another one out.
Yep, and my Packers won, even though they lost their quarterback, Jordan Love, who got injured, and then think about this, Ricky. They ran in an NFL game over 50 possessions. So how brilliant a coach is that? We lose our Jordan Love, our main quarterback, who can really get out of the pocket and run and pass and everything, and we bring in Malik Willis, he's a good solid backup. He's young, but we don't put him under. He was 12 for 14 on passes for 122 yards, 1 TD, no interceptions. But then they ran 50 plus. They threw the ball 30. They threw the ball 14 times and ran it 50 something times.
Yeah,
And,
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs had 32 carries for 151 yards, and they were just running like the freaking old wishbone or the option. They were doing handoffs and flips, and I loved it. I mean, I wonder if maybe more teams will get that, make that happen. But you have to have a really good offensive line to be able to do that. And they put the defense on their heels, and they got a big win. And I don't know how long Jordan Love's going to be out, but I don't know who they play next. But it's going to be interesting if they run as much as they did this time.
Let's see. Sunday, Green Bay has. This is this Sunday's game. Let's see. Week 3, Green Bay is. They got Tennessee. They go to Nashville. So that's a team that can beat Tennessee. Tennessee has good defense, but Tennessee doesn't have much offense.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because
Willis played at Tennessee.
If the Packers run like they did and eat the clock up, and Tennessee can't score, if I'm Tennessee, I got to load up on the run and hopefully stop it. I would take the under on whatever the over under is on that score.
If I'm the Raiders, I'd give Bryce Young a shot. Coaching is a lot of it. Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold were not good on the Panthers, and now look at them. Yeah, Baker came up here and beat the Lions yesterday. Just the main thing, man, you play quarterback, do not throw the ball to the other team.
Throw it to your team. Jesse's in Orlando. He's smart enough to know that. The Raiders, like they have great defense, or really good defense, but they have an okay quarterback. But we know. Look at the best teams in the NFL. They have really, really good quarterbacks. So I bet you could get Bryce Young really cheap, right? And let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can be a backup, figure out our system, and who knows. I mean,
somebody will take him because I think he's only 23, 24. Somebody will take him.
Yeah, he's only 23, they're going to take a chance, because of, he was a high draft pick, and plus the money makes sense. He's already been paid over half his salary.
So yeah, so you're gonna get him
Yeah.
cheap. The Bengals, that's a great little rivalry there. Cincinnati and Kansas City. That's a terrible way for the Bengals to lose, but that's pass interference, Mo. He didn't give them a chance to.
Well, of course it is. I mean, I don't know what the calls were before that, but that's pass interference. Come on. I mean, you hit the guy before you catch. I mean, it seems to me that the Chiefs, okay, they're lucky. So the guy was out of bounds by this much, and they win the first game, and then they get that call, and they win the second game. You know what? When you're good, you can make some luck for yourself. And the Chiefs are good. The problem is, they lost their running back, Pachenko, who broke his ankle or leg. And that dude can run, man. He's tough as nails. And he opens up the passing for Mahomes because he can run. And he's going to be out they're saying 4 to 6, but, you're looking at, probably 2 months, hopefully back for a playoff run. But that hurts. That right there, losing Pachenko hurts.
Hey, Mo, I do want to go back to the NBA for a moment because there was also news on a big rule change. I don't know how big it is. It is a rule change. From now on, starting this season, if a ball out of bounds is being reviewed and you fouled me to make the ball go out of bounds or whatever, the officials will be able to call the foul that occurred on that play. Like or dislike?
Well, I think I'm going to start training to be a referee because if I start training now, even though I can't run anymore, can hardly walk, that in 2 years I could probably ref a game from my office right here. I could just watch on the TV and ref it because you can you can call fouls by video now. No, but I like it because it's part of the play. So it's an out of bounds call, right? But if I'm going for the ball and you grab my arm and that's why I hit it last and it's a foul, but it goes out of bounds, I like that you can overturn that because it's part of that specific play, the out of bounds. Why? Whose ball is it out of bounds? Whose ball should it be? And I like that because the obvious. I think it was the Minnesota game or whatever it was. I can't remember. It's a playoff game where
Minnesota.
Where a player, grabbed the guy's arm. It was obvious. Referees are human, so if you could see that, go back. I mean, you can change a charge or block call. You can change a goaltending or not goaltending call. So, I'm okay with that as long as it doesn't take too long. That's the problem when it takes too long.
Yeah. It was the Minnesota Timberwolves game when Jaden McDaniels was down on the baseline and Kyrie and Luka trapped him. Kyrie knocked the ball out of bounds, but the official said the Timberwolves retained possession. Dallas challenged the play, and it was determined McDaniels touched it last, awarding the Mavericks the play.
Even though Kyrie fouled him.
Right. Kyrie clearly fouled him.
If you're going to do this and review, then you should get it right. You should get it right. And if the team that doesn't deserve the ball gets it, that's not right. So, I'm okay with that. What about you, Ricky? Are you okay with that?
Yeah. I, like you said, get the doggone thing right, man. That's what we want. Is the correct calls are what we want on the floor. Oh, Mo, by the way, a contemporary of yours passed away, Mitchell Wiggins.
Yeah. Yep.
Had a good NBA career. The father of Andrew Wiggins, who played a pivotal role in the Golden State Warriors champion in a couple of Warriors championships. Passed away at 64.
Yeah, he's been battling, I don't know if it was cancer or something for a while. So now it kind of puts the light on. Remember when Andrew Wiggins left the team for personal
Yep.
reasons and was gone for a long time?
Yep.
Well, this is probably what it was for. And now we kind of realize that. I actually wish, I know it's personal and you keep everything private, whatever, but I wish he would have shared that with us when it was happening, because not only does it, give us a chance to pray for his dad and hope for the best. But it also you're like, okay, a son's trying to take care of his father, so, there's a little sympathy there. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Ricky, at my age, I'm 67, man. I got guys,
Yeah.
passing away. I've had 6-foot surgeries, 5 knee surgeries, knee replacement, hip surgery, but I'm still around, still in the hot tub. It's really sad to see former teammates or players or colleagues. It's when you get this old, it starts to happen. But it seems more, basketball or sports wise, it happens earlier than usual. At least that's what it seems like. Maybe because we notice it more.
And you know so many of those guys, Mo. You've made friends all over the world in the basketball world.
Well, Andrew Wiggins is as athletic as he is for a reason. His dad was an NBA basketball player, and his mom was an Olympic level track star. So there's a reason for that.
and Mitchell, but he's sort of a big guard back then.
Yeah, I mean,
6'5", 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, but nobody. I mean, Tommy Henderson played point guard with the Rockets way back then. He was about 6'4", 6. You can't. He was a guard. He was more of a scoring guard, but he was a guard.
Yeah. Well, R.I.P. to Mitchell and Andrew and his family for sure. Hey, that's just the way it goes, man. Sometimes. Yep. Mo, how about those Cowboys, man?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, they just get blown out. I mean, so what do you do? What do you do? You're Jerry Jones. What do you do, Ricky? What's your next move?
What you go to? You run those guys back out there and tell them to play better, because you paid everybody now. You can't go get nobody else. Clearly, they got some issues on defense. But New Orleans, I think they scored. Did they score 41 the first week and 44 second week?
Yeah. So guess I'll predict right now. I don't know their situation. I predict right now, in the next week or two, defensive coordinator, he's fired. That's the next move. That's what you do. And then you bring in whoever and you try to change things up and change some schemes and blah, 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 blah. And, that's the first, because like you said, you already committed to these players. So what are you going to do? What you going to do? Well, you're going to fire the offensive coordinator. That's what you're going to do. Watch.
Somebody's going to, something will happen for sure.
So Jerry Jones ain't sitting in his office going, "That's okay, guys. Better luck next time. Way to go." He ain't doing that. Heads will roll. Watch.
Hey, Paul, we got, I think Boston goes to training camp on the 25th. I mean, we got about 10 days for most teams before training camp starts. It seems like the season just ended. And so I've been reading some NBA stuff. I saw an interesting story on CBS Sports line by Sam Quinn. He was ranking the 30 best coaches in the NBA. I'll tell you who he says the worst coach.
There's a guy who's never coached before.
Yeah, JJ Redick.
How do you know what kind of coach he is? He ain't never coached.
And he's
How
saying,
can you rate him? How can you rate him?
He said we don't know enough. He said we don't know what he.
You know nothing. You don't know enough. You know nothing. He's never coached.
Right.
How can you rate him? I mean, come on, man. That's so stupid. I mean, don't even put a number on him then. Just put him on undecided. I mean, come on, man. Right. So I didn't see the list. Who's the top 5?
Top 5. I think you probably must guess them.
Spoelstra, Kerr,
Yeah,
Ty Lue.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think Pop's still there.
No, but Pop gets legendary status.
Yeah. So who else is in that on that list?
Rick Carlisle and your buddy,
Chris,
Nick Nurse.
Nick Nurse. What about Chris Finch?
Chris is in the next tier.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, here's a question for you. I'm sorry. Ty Lue won a championship. What? 20 years ago? What? 15? When did with LeBron James? And then he goes to the Clippers and has Kawhi and all these guys, right? And lost in the first round. Didn't make the playoffs. Lost in the second round. Lost in the first round. Why is he rated as such a good coach? That's interesting to me. When if other coaches that had that record with that roster wouldn't be rated that high. Interesting.
Because to me, he's the same as Doc Rivers, who's way down on this list, Mo. Doc is like middle of the pack.
Yeah, who was at the top 10 years ago, right?
Right.
But I don't understand how Ty Lue. What is Ty Lue? What do they have him, like 4, 5, 3?
They had him 5.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
But Eric Spoelstra is this guy. This is just his opinion, of course, but he says Spoelstra is number 1, and it's not even close.
I don't agree with that. Saying it's not even close, you have no idea. So, that's a bunch of crap. But he's up there with mine. What is Steve Kerr on his list?
2.
Yeah. I'm surprised because most people, because they didn't play Tatum, probably drop him to like 15. Even though he's won 4 championships and and the gold medal. But yeah, I mean,
actually, I'm wrong. Nick Nurse is 2.
Yeah.
2, Rick Carlisle, who is definitely an excellent coach, is 3. Then Steve, then Ty.
And then who's the next 5?
The next 5 is Mark Daigneault from the Thunder, Will Hardy from the Jazz, Udoka from the Rockets, Budenholzer from Suns, and Tom Thibodeau for the Knicks.
Okay, I agree with all those except the first 2. How do you know that? You don't know those guys. Who say those names? Who's the Oklahoma City coach?
Mark Daigneault.
Yeah.
And Will Hardy.
Yeah, what have they done? I mean, you know what?
I didn't even know Will Hardy coached the Jazz, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe he's a friend of his. Whoever wrote this, I don't know. I mean, come on, man. How can you put those guys even ahead of Lakers guy who never coached before?
Boy, yeah. NBA stepping over Lou liked Iverson in the 0-1 finals.
No, if the NBA was stepping over him like that, then he'd be rated 20th rated coach.
Yeah, he's and let's see, we got Jesse's checking in. Best pound for pound running back in the league besides Christian McCaffrey is Kamara for the Saints. Yeah, especially when he's playing against the Cowboys defense.
What about the running back went from the Giants to the Jets? What about that? Not the Jets.
Barkley.
Yeah, what about him? He had 4 touchdowns last week, didn't he?
Yeah,
I guess he's heavier. I guess I don't know.
He's a good player. Kamara's a good player. Both of those guys are good running backs.
I will defer to Jesse on football, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Pound for pound. You put that on pound for pound.
Yeah, I know. Joe Mazzulla was 11th, Mo, on this list.
The guy that won the NBA championship, that guy? Yeah, Ty Lue's ahead of him? Okay.
So, yeah, that's...
I mean, I don't know who wrote this, but, we've talked about this before. Coaching an NBA team is not just X's and O's. It's about responsibility and psychology and getting guys to buy in and all. There's so much around that you have controlling the locker room, controlling your staff. There's so much involved in that people have no idea, about that. So, you know,
No, I totally agree with you.
we talked about there's only 450 NBA players in the world. There's only 30 NBA coaches, head coaches in the world too. How about that?
Right. Right.
So there's
Right.
about 800 assistant coaches now, or 1,000, because every team has like 20 of them.
Here's some news. The Lakers. Christian Colo is signed to play with the Lakers.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, early prediction, right? I'm going to predict that the Mavericks get back to the finals and they play Philadelphia. There you go. How about that?
Philly, Boston, baby. That used to be a great series. Except the years y'all came in and messed it all up, Mo.
Porzingis is hurt. He's out till January at least, and who knows how long that will take. Paul George joining Philly with Oubre, Maxey, Embiid, Lowry, Drummond, Reggie Jackson. I mean, they have a deep, deep team. I like the Knicks also. The Bucks picked up. Their bench might be a little bit better. Dallas I like, and I also like OKC in the West. They picked up Hartenstein and Caruso to go with all their young talent.
Yeah. Yeah, Hartenstein's a good pickup for them, man. And you said he was going to make some money the way he played in the playoffs for the Knicks with his physical rebounding and hustle. Hey, Mo, but I was going to say, a guy I'm worried about is Giannis. Man, he's been banged up the last couple of years.
You know why? Why do you think he's banged up?
Why?
Because he goes 1-on-5 all the time. He gets a rebound and dribbles it down and tries to dunk it. He does too much. And you got Lillard now. You got players around you. Middleton's injured, but hopefully he'll be back. And, you got to let them. He just tries to do too much. And I'm sorry if this is controversial now. And I love the dude. I love Giannis. I love him with the Bucks, my Bucks. I love that. But you got to admit, right? He's one of the least talented MVPs ever in the history of the NBA.
He has not added anything to his game, has he?
Well, what are skills in the NBA? Shooting, below average, especially from the three. Shooting free throws, way below average. Passing, he turns the ball over way too much. I mean, those are the skills that you need in the NBA, right? I mean, so I looked in the Olympic tournament and qualifying. It looks like he actually, maybe he listened to me and shortened his free throw routine rather than taking 15 seconds or, now he takes like 6 or 7 seconds really quick, gets it up there and lets it go. I like that. He needs to get a pull-up game so he doesn't charge over people and turn the ball over. He plays hard, he rebounds, he blocks shots, goes to the basket strong. But the other stuff, don't take threes that you can't make. He's going to make his free throw, so hopefully that will help. But, the dude's been playing, most seasons last 8 months and then 9 with the playoffs. But then if you add world championships, he played in that. The Olympics, he played in that. That's another month or more. So he's not getting rest and a lot of rest for his body. So it
Th-
adds
This will,
up.
this will be his 11th season. He's 29 years old, and as he gets older, I'm wondering. I mean, I assume his athleticism will diminish. How will he play? I mean, you look at LeBron, who still has a lot of his athletics skills, but even if he wasn't jumping out of the gym, he's so smart here, he would still be able to play.
Well, you need to start playing, and obviously probably never at that level, but like KD plays, right? KD 7 foot, has a nice pull-up game. He can knock down threes, gets a basket when he needs to. And guess what? You're going to realize the older you get, the less need for spectacular dunks. Just dunk it. It's 2 points. Sometimes just lay it in. It's 2 points. So I think he'll learn that. I just want to see if he's willing to really expand his game, his pull-up game. He getting old of dribbling all the way and then getting cut off and spin move right into somebody and turn the ball over a charge. How about if you just pull up and shoot a nice little 12-footer? How about that? And stuff like that he can work on his game. But injuries. What's funny? Look at a picture of when Giannis was a rookie and look at him now. Have you seen those pictures?
No, is he?
He looks like like he was. He looks like he weighs about 210 pounds.
Okay.
I mean, it's amazing the difference of his maturity and his work ethic. And I mean, I can't doubt his work ethic. I just hope he works smart enough to start working on the other parts of his game that when the athleticism goes, that's what you're going to need. Let's look at Michael Jordan, one of the best players ever, right? He came in the league high flyer. I played against him. High flyer, dunk everything, get to the basket, attack, blah, blah, blah. And over the years, he became really good three-point shooter. He became a low post player. He scored in the low post. He had a pull-up game, all that. So, even one of the best players ever in the game had to learn that. So hopefully Giannis will learn that.
Yeah, I'm wondering. He's been so successful, statistically anyway, with the way he's played. He made me think, I don't need to do nothing else.
Well, let's look at who the last MVPs have been. The Joker and Embiid. Do they do what Giannis does? No. They don't dribble the ball. Well, the Joker does sometimes, but he passes it usually, and he doesn't go to the basket try to dunk it. And he's a very good passer, and Embiid has a really good pull-up game. So, hopefully, no matter how good you are, you can look at players that are as good or better and look at stuff you need to get better at. And those are things he can get better at. And as hard as he works at his other parts of his game, if he would do that, it'll come around. No question.
Let's see. Well, just got an interesting comment from Sports Fluent here. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm calling the Panthers. Yeah, I mean Tua and more.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
Well, because it's really concerning because that was not a big hit. I mean, it's the NFL, so it's a hit for sure. But it's not what we've seen in the NBA that knocked them out. I mean, like some of the NFL hits.
Well, it's accumulation sometimes, and it's the angle sometimes. But I think I just saw something that said he's planning on sitting out this year and not retiring. I think I saw that.
He said he wasn't going to retire for sure.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, he's had those hits where his fingers go crazy and all that, and your mind is and your family probably telling you to retire. But how old is he? 26.
26.
26 years old, at the top of his game. So and he's made a ton of money, but you're going to lose what 80, 90 million, something like that if you retire. If you're deemed medically okay, cleared to play. I don't know if the Dolphins would do that to him, but it's hard it's hard for a player at 36 years old that knows he can't play anymore to retire. So how do you think a 26-year-old that is in great shape, can still play at the top of his game, how do you think how hard it is for that person to retire? I mean, I never retired. People just stopped paying me. I never retire. I didn't say, hey, I'm retiring now. They just stopped paying me. But for players that retire, and the guys that stay on a year or two extra and they know they shouldn't have, but it's so hard to retire. So it's a very difficult decision. But if I was talking to him as a friend, I'd say, listen, it's really hard for you to retire, but it's in the best interest of you and your family. You've made a zillion bajillion dollars, and here the Miami Dolphins love you. So instead of just going away in the sunset, what you do is you go into the front office and you start working with them. Maybe starting to be an assistant GM, and you'll be a GM. Maybe a president someday of a team. And you can still stay in the game that way. Is it going to be easy? No, because you're not on the field. You're not in the locker room. You don't have the team. You're not on the flights. You're not in. It's different. And any player in any sport that retires or stops playing like I did, the first thing they will say they miss is their teammates and the life, not the lifestyle for money and that, but the lifestyle of you go to practice, you work on your game, then you get in the weight room and you talk to your teammates and then you play the games and you got video sessions, and then you go on the plane and you play cards, or you relax and talk, and you get off the plane, you get on a bus, you go to a hotel, get ready for a game, and you get in the locker room and it's us against the world because we're playing the Boston Celtics in the Garden. Everybody hates us, but we're here. We're a team. We're friends right now. We're against them. That's what players miss, no matter what level. At that level, that's the first thing they're going to miss. So telling a 26-year-old, hey, you're not going to have that feeling anymore. Even though you're a really good quarterback, even though your teammates love you, even though you think, because here's the other twist on that. If you tear up your knee, have back surgery, you break your shoulder out of your socket, whatever, and you do rehab and you can't do this anymore. But if you have a concussion, after about a month or so, you feel fine. It's okay. I can still look. I can still run. I can still throw. I can still lift. Look at my body. I'm in great shape. My mind is clear right now. I'm good to go. So it's tough to tell that person, no, I know it seems that way, but you still need to step down for your family. And, that's like when you tear your ACL in basketball, after your surgery, they always tell you this, that after surgery, you're going to go through like 5 or 6 months, rehab, and it's going to be tough and pain and all this stuff. But then at that point, at the 6 to 8 month mark, you're going to feel good. Your knee's going to feel good. You're going to be able to sprint and cut, and it feels good. But guess what? You're not ready yet. You need to give it another month or two before you really go in. Even though your brain, everything's fine. Look, I can do everything. Look at it. And that's what, with the concussion, it's even more of a test for him. Because in a month from now, 6 weeks, he's going to feel fine. He's going to feel just as good as he did before this happened. And it's a tough decision, man.
Hey, Mo, we got to get out of here, man. We appreciate all the questions and comments. Check us out on SportFluent. Give us a comment or a super chat. What is it, Mo, that we're doing over there?
I don't know. You tell me.
We need you to keep checking in so we can continue to grow the show. Go to SportsFluent on YouTube and
give us a super chat. Give us a super chat.
Yeah, Andrew Luck. He just Wooday's mentioned Andrew Luck. We'll continue this conversation next week, but we got to get out of here now.
Spread the word, man. Get some more people in here. Love talking sports, football, basketball, retirement, forced retirement, and my situation, and we can talk more about that.
Next week, for Paul Mokeski, I'm Rick Hampton. Peace, everybody.